how about this then, eh? Brand new setup. Well, no, it's not a new setup, but I've just changed the fucking angle of my desk. The TV, the box is no longer down here. It's now actually being put up. It's currently just to the left of me here. It's actually quite a big TV, so I've had to move my desk around to actually fit the TV up on there. But that doesn't really matter, as in my opinion, I think it's actually a better look. You know, the lighting's a lot better. I have had to close the curtains because it was just incredibly bright. Like, my face was literally white. You couldn't see my face at all. So close the curtains. Well, it's a little bit dark in here, but that is that. So the Premier League season has just come to an end. Like, literally moments ago, has come to an end, and we now know the final outcome. Southampton, we knew their fate a few weeks ago. They're being there in the Championship, but Leicester and Leeds have joined them. Leicester becoming the second former Premier League champions to then be relegated. Huge loss for the Premier League for them, and obviously Leeds, their short 3-year spells has come to an end as well. But you're not here to all that. We're here to look at the predictions I made back at the end of July and compare them to where the actual league finish was, and dear me, it's gradually gotten worse. My League One predictions, they were like decent. My Championship predictions were not as good, but weren't terrible. But my Premier League ones, dear me, they are not good whatsoever. Holy shit. But that's that part. You know, we're here to laugh. We're here to laugh at my predictions. So without any more hesitation, let's get in this video, starting off with the bottom 3. Now, I was actually pretty close to this one, well, in terms of the team finishing 18th anyway. Yeah, Bournemouth and Fulham to finish in the bottom 2, and they both had pretty good seasons in the end. Fulham having an outstanding season, finishing in 10th place. Like, they finished in the top half, had no relegation worries throughout the whole season, relatively comfortable. And yeah, it's been a fantastic first season back from Fulham. They finally managed to survive. They've ended the whole yo-yo streak, them and Norwich. They will be staying in the consecutive divisions for the time being. And, you know, you've just got to give credit to Marco Silva. He got it right. The recruitment was spot on. And yeah, Fulham, they can enjoy the summer knowing that they will actually be in the Premier League again next season. Unbelievable stuff there. And again, Bournemouth, literally, beginning of March, it looked like they were almost destined for relegation, but managed to get a good run of results together under Gary O'Neill, and he's, albeit they've had overall, the season, it could have been better, but, you know, they survived pretty comfortably in the end. No real complaints there. And then I had Everton to finish 18th, and for a while today, it looked like that was going to be the case, but Doucouré with a brilliant strike against Bournemouth, which was enough to see Everton survive. So fair play to Everton, you've managed to narrowly avoid relegation once again. This summer, though, is going to be a big summer for Everton. You know, they need some serious fucking changes in that club. Otherwise, you're going to end up just being like what Sunderland were and just eventually go down and being an absolute chaos from start to finish. But that is that. Now going into the bottom half predictions. Now, I had Leeds in 17th, they actually mentioned 19th. So yeah, they got relegated in the end. It just hasn't been good enough from Leeds at all this season, has it? It's just been a pretty miserable one. Jesse Marsh, like, it was like, I mean, just going back to last year, the move to sack Marcelo Bielsa was just mental. They brought in Jesse Marsh, who managed to keep them up, but then he just couldn't get things going this year. They had sacked him. They brought in Javi Garcia, he couldn't get things rolling either. And then they fucking sacked him before getting let to go to bring in Sam Allardyce, who, let's be honest, he didn't have a fucking cat and mouse chance, really. He just didn't. They lost 3 of the last 4, and they ended up going down. But to be fair, I think out of the 3 teams who got relegated, as weird as it sounds, Leeds probably are in the best place to actually get promoted again next season. I'll go into that in just a little bit. Now this is the first of my pretty bad predictions. Brentford just about avoid relegation, finishing 16th. They actually finished in 9th. They almost qualified for Europe. I mean, I say almost. Like it was kind of out of the question in the end. But again, a pretty terrible prediction. Once again, Brentford are just continuing to just prove that they are a force to be reckoned with, and sooner rather than later they are going to be playing in Europe. I don't know if it'll be in season after next or whatever, but yeah, they're on the way up, Brentford. So you know you've got to congratulate them for where they are. And to be fair, once again, brilliant season, albeit the whole controversy surrounding Ivan Toney, you know, with Brentford. I mean, to be fair, like, if I was a Brentford fan, I would fucking despise Toney. Like, just the things that he said about them around, like, I think I can't remember how long ago it was. I don't know if it was this season or not. Those things he said about them, and then, you know, betting against them when he wasn't playing, it was just, to me, if I was Brentford, I would, albeit Toney is a good goal scorer, I would fucking get rid of him. He clearly is just a massive cunt. To put it bluntly, he's just a massive wanker. So, yeah, there we go, Brentford. You did well. And again, I was 1 place out with Nottingham Forest, had them finish 15th, they finished 16th. Just dreadful start to the season, just could not win to save their lives. And then they got a bit of momentum going, you know, started to pick up some results. Then fell down a little bit again, but got, like Bournemouth, they got the form up at the right possible time, and they survived. And, you know, like, you see people going on saying, oh yeah, why did Forest buy 22 players or how many players it was? Well, they had to, really, because they lost all the players who got them promoted last season. They had to buy a whole new squad. And yes, it took them a while to get them going, but in the end they survived, and now they've got the formula there. They've got manager and Steve Cooper, like, to Forest, right? Fair play to them, by the way, for actually sticking with Steve Cooper. Like, we all know Forest's owners are fucking nutter, right? But fair play to him, because he stuck by Cooper, and he had to get the job done. And to be fair, it was a great job in the end from Nottingham Forest, and who knows what they can do next season. Could be a case of second season syndrome, or could actually have a pretty good year. We'll have to wait and see. Now, I had Southampton finish 14th, they actually finished rock bottom, and yeah, it's just been an absolutely terrible season from Southampton, absolutely disgraceful. Fun fact, that by the way, they only managed 1 extra point than Sunderland managed in our relegation year, 6 years ago. So who knows with Southampton, but yeah, I'm kind of annoyed with this one, because I'm pretty sure like the last 2 years or so, I predicted Southampton to get relegated, and they just about survived. And then the 1 year I predicted them to actually comfortably survive, the very rock bottom is just, yeah, it's been coming, this relegation for Southampton, really, and it's just been a fucking mess for the season, really. I mean, fucking 3 managers just should be a big step up, really, you know. Hassan Hutel, you know, his magic ink was running out. Nathan Jones was just a fucking car crash. And then they clearly just given up by giving the gig to Ruben Sellers, so yeah, they were going out with a whimper, albeit a pretty thrilling game of the day against Liverpool, almost getting a 4-2 win, but fell short in the end. And then at Leicester, they finished above them just in 13th. They then also got relegated. Yeah, this kind of came out the blue a little bit, I think. Well, maybe not. Leicester fans might be able to tell me better, but for me as an outsider, this kind of came out the blue. I mean, yeah, last season there was a little bit of a tail off compared to what it had been under Brendan Rodgers. You know, they had comfortable 5th place finishes 2 years in a row, almost got Champions League football, and obviously years before that, they were finishing, you know, top half comfortably. But then this year, I don't know why, things just seem to just completely fall off. And to be fair, this summer's going to be a massive rebuild job required for Leicester, because, you know, they've got a bunch of players out of contract, more players like Harvey Barnes, like James Maddison, like Cleti Iheanacho, like Jamie Vardy, who are all on massive wages. They're going to have to get them off the fucking wage bill. Yeah, it's going to be a tough year ahead for Leicester. And I think with them and Southampton, it's going to be a tough one. Like, I know Southampton's squad, as of right now, probably would piss the Championship, but there are going to be players who are going to leave, and players on massive wage bills. And like I said before, out of the 3 teams who have been relegated, and Leicester leads in Southampton, who, there are 3 heavyweight teams getting relegated here, but like, don't get me wrong, it's like back in 2018 when West Brom, Stoke and Swansea all went down. Like, there were 3 heavyweight teams getting relegated there. And yeah, Southampton and Leicester, both teams who've been in the Premier League for a long time. You know, Southampton been here for 11 years, Leicester been 9. You know, they've been here for a while now. They've both played in Europe since their promotions, you know. They've got teams who will financially suffer massively compared to Leeds, who have only been here for 3 years, and yes, have splashed ridiculous money around with I've been here, but they've got a good youth academy. They've already got players who are currently out on loan in the Championship. You know, Joe Gelhardt, Charlie Cresswell, just being 2 of those. They'll walk straight into that Leeds team next season. You know, with Leeds, right, if they get a good, bring in a good manager, a young, exciting manager, like what Burnley did, they use the youth academy to bring in some good, some proper championship quality players. They'll have no problems at all next season. They really won't. However, for Leicester and Southampton, they're going to be in for some shit next season. It's not going to be easy for them next season at all, let me tell you that now. But, I've already rambled on enough about that and not. I should probably get moving on because we're already fucking 11 minutes in this record and I'm already just been through 7 teams. So next I have Brighton 12, 30 minutes in 6th. They actually doubled their league position in a sense. Yeah, I didn't really know how Brighton would get on the season. I thought it might just be a case of the teams who I had above them would just do better, but fair play to Brighton. They absolutely smashed it. Just an absolute joy to watch. Getting to the FA Cup semi-final as well, almost in the final. Obviously, that heartbreak with the penalties. You can't knock their effort this year. And to be fair, they're the club on the up. It's exciting times to be a Brighton fan. And I wish them best of luck in Europa League next season. And then coming up into 11th place, my first absolute spot-on prediction is Crystal Palace to finish 11th, and they did finish 11th in the end. It's been a weird one for Crystal Palace because they did really well last year under Vieira, and they had a solid enough start to the season, but since the World Cup, it felt as though their form was going severely under the radar. Since, especially in 2023, I don't think people actually realised until it's too late how badly they were actually doing this year. And to be fair, I don't actually blame Vieira too much because, to be fair, we all know Crystal Palace, they are essentially just the new Swansea. They just hate to make up the numbers, really, at this current moment in time. In their 10 years in the Premier League, they never really looked like going down. They never really threatened Europe, They're just here, and yeah, for the first time in about 10 years, really, they look in serious danger of being relegated. And yeah, Vieira was sacked, which, it was pretty tough. It was horrible to see because Vieira was actually doing pretty well, but they then brought back Roy Hodgson, which at the time looked crazy. It looked like Palace would just accept relegation, but fair play to Roy. He caught them up, and to be fair, they were pretty safe in the end, finishing 11th place. So in the end, it proved to be a good decision by the board, but now they've got to go back and find a new manager. They just got to start over again now, the board, It's just, with Crystal Palace, you think, when's that gonna be the year? When's that year gonna come when they're gonna do a Southampton just drop out of nowhere? It's coming for Crystal Palace. Unless they get in some proper investment, they're not going anywhere upwards. If anything, they're gonna be fucking relegated before they play in Europe again. That's all I'm gonna say. Now we're going into the 3 teams who weren't quite there for Europe, and yeah, I had a shock with all 3 of these. Villa finished 10th, and to be fair, they actually finished 7th in the end, which just goes to show how well Unai Emery has done this year. He's had a fantastic impact on this Villa team. Gerrard, it was also a crazy appointment to begin with. Emery came in, he's got them Conference League football. You can't complain with that at all. And then at Wolves in 9th, they finished 13th, so it wasn't completely poor, but it wasn't a great one either. Yeah, again, just wasn't going well start of the season. Then they bring in Lopetegui, who gets in the form going. They've been comfortably safe for weeks, Wolves. But yeah, again, they're just not really going anywhere right now. Big summer ahead for them. They're going to be in some shit next season. And then had Newcastle in the 8th. Now, I thought I was being pretty kind to Newcastle here, I'll be honest. Put them in 8th place, but they finished 4th. They're going to be playing in the Champions League next season. Fuck's sake. Moving on. Moving on to the 3 teams I thought would finish outside the top 4. And then now West Ham in 7th. Again, a pretty bad prediction. Yeah, it just crumbled this season, Stuart Pearce left. Moyes was on his own. And for a little bit, it looked like West Ham might have actually been in danger. But, they got their act together. Like with Bournemouth, like with Nottingham Forest. They got their form at the right time. They survived. Now they've got a European final to look forward to. So, in the end, hasn't been the bad season off West Ham. Albeit, there was, it's been mostly shit. But, the last few months, you can't really complain with it, can you? You can't. And then have, these do fucking hell. And then have Man United in 6. And to be fair, I thought it might have taken a little bit for them to adjust under Erik ten Hag, but they've had the hiccups this year, some big ones. I'm talking about the 4-0 to Brentford, losing 7-0 to fucking Liverpool. But you know, they finished in the end. They finished third. They've qualified for the top 4. They've won a major trophy. Could win 2 if they beat City in the FA Cup final, which is going to be a fucking great game of football to watch. So overall, it's been a decent year for United. All things considered, the first year under the Ten Hag project. You know, the thing is with United, they just needed that manager who could manage a fucking team with massive egos. Solskjaer couldn't do it. Rangnick fucking flopped with doing that. Ten Hag, he just needed to fucking get him into shape and actually get some discipline in that dressing room. And for the most part, it's worked because, you know, they finished third. And like I said, they've had a solid season, so I can't really complain there with United. They've had a good season. I'd argue better than Arsenal, really. Oh dear, then I had Chelsea finishing 5th, they finishing 12th. But believe it or not, that's not actually my worst prediction, which is pretty funny. Like, I found that is that the 3rd team now I've had on the 7 difference, or 7 play difference. I had Brentford, West Ham, and now I've got Chelsea. So, believe it or not, this actually isn't my outright worst prediction. It's just my joint worst. But yeah, Chelsea in 5th is absolute disaster for season for Chelsea. Absolute disaster. You know, the move to sack Thomas Tuchel was mental. Like, it's funny how Thomas Tuchel has been involved in the 2 worst managerial changes of the season. He's been sacked by Chelsea for losing in a group stage game into who even was a fucking Dynamo Zagreb they fucking lost to or some shit. And then Graham Potter came in. He couldn't. I mean, to be fair, he couldn't really get things going. The decision to fucking sack him in the end proved pretty mental. And then bring in fucking Frank Lampard to get them out of it. That then fucking backfired. It's just terrible shit from Chelsea. Like, it's good. It's fine having money to spend, but if you're not gonna have a plan, what's the fucking point? It was like what, £600 million was spent this season, and they finished fucking 12th. They finished below Crystal Palace. They finished below Fulham, who were a newly promoted team. They finished below Brentford. Like, Chelsea finished below their West London rivals, Brentford and Fulham. They spent £600 million. Mental. Just shocking from Chelsea. They need a fucking reset behind the scenes. They really do. And then into my top 4. And to be fair, I got 2 of the top 4 teams right. One of them in the correct position. The other 2 just missed out. Like, Arsenal finished in 4th. They actually finished in 2nd. Should have won the league. Let's be honest. But again, Arsenal, they'll be chuffed with how the season's gone. Yeah, they'll probably be a little bit disappointed with how the season ended. But if you know, I think the aim was to finish in the top 4 because they bottled it last year and they've got top 4. So there's that. And again, like with Brighton and Brentford, they've got like a platform there now to just exceed. And to be fair, I'm expecting them to be up there again next season, albeit, you know, with a bit of competition from the likes of United and Liverpool and maybe Newcastle as well, if they continue to progress. So yeah, overall Arsenal, great season from them. And then Tottenham in 3rd, and yeah, again, it's just been a poor year for Tottenham. Really, just nothing has gone right. Conte outlining what needed to go wrong. He spat the dummy out. He then got sacked, and then Ryan Mason's took over. I'm sorry. The fucking who was it? The bloke. Oh, Conte's assistant then the manager. He then got fucking sacked. Brian Mason then just steadied things towards the end of the season, and albeit they did fucking batter Leeds today, does no favour because they now completely miss out on Europe altogether. So that actually might help Tottenham a lot next year with just no European football. And yeah, to be fair, I'm happy that Brighton and Villa got the last 2 European places because I prefer having 2 teams who will actually give it a go and I to try to win it rather than fucking Tottenham, who, if they had finished in 7th place, would have just half-horsed the fucking Conference League, and it just would have been a fun one. So fair play to Villa and Brentford there. But yeah, Tottenham again, like Chelsea, they need a massive reset behind the scenes, massive reset. I didn't have Liverpool to finish 2nd. They actually finished in 5th. They actually missed out on top 4 together. And again, it's been a weird one for Liverpool because, yeah, like I'm not saying Mane is the reason why they've done badly, but it's some weird coincidence that as soon as Mane goes, Liverpool completely just collapsed this year. And yeah, they did go on that massive winning streak in April, but it wasn't enough in the end. And yeah, they're not even in the top 4 next year. They're up in the fucking Europa League next season. Which, to be fair, they probably could have a good shot at winning if they actually tried to go for it. And yeah, this wasn't really great for Liverpool this year. And, you know, they, again, like Chelsea, like Tottenham, like, they need some, like, I mean, to be fair, like, with Klopp, clearly he's got another rebuild job in his hands, because, you know, the team, the players he's had for the last, 6 years, they're now getting old. Henderson's getting on now. He'll be off in the summer. Mo Salah has had another good season. He'll be off. He's getting old. You know, he's just Klopp. He's rebuilt Liverpool once. He can do it again. That's what I'm saying. You know, the Liverpool owners would be nuts to sack him. Would be absolutely nuts to sack him. All I'm saying is, right, he's done it once. He can do it again. He just needs the time and the resources to get a brand new, young Liverpool team who can start competing again for the league. That's all I'm saying. And then finally, my second out of 2 correct positions. So I just managed to get 2 out of 2 spot predictions, which I'm not too upset about. Was Manchester City. Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure everyone and their fucking dog played the Man City to win the league at the start of the season. And to be fair, for a while, it looked like they were actually going to finish second to Arsenal, but Arsenal's collapse at the end of April and start of May led City to win the league. So fair play to City. And to be fair, the trouble is still on, albeit they've still got 2 mammoth finals against United and Inter Milan to get past. But they could do it. They could become the second ever English team to win the treble. So good luck, City. I hope you do it. You know, why not? I mean, yeah, you can say for City's billions, whatever. To still win the treble is a magnificent achievement. Like, literally, it's only been done once before by United back in '99. It's a rare thing to do. It really is. So yeah, I hope City do it. I hope they do it. But that's gonna be it for this video. I've rambled on for a fucking long time, 22 minutes. Jesus Christ! But you know, I had to get my thoughts out there in general. And yeah, what's been a pretty weird Premier League season, but quite a unique one, has finally come to its sweet end. Southampton, Leeds and Leicester will be joining the mighty Sunderland in the Championship next season. Man City have won their 3rd league title in a row, their 5th in the last 6 years. Newcastle fucking finished top 4. How the hell's that happened? Jesus Christ, man. Villa and Brighton both finished in the European spaces. Brighton for the first time ever. Villa for the first time in 13 years. Chelsea have recorded their worst ever season in the Premier League, I think. At the top of my head, I think they have anywhere doing even worse than that fiasco back in 15-16. Everton survived by the skin of the teeth yet again. Next year is going to be a tough one for them. And that's been it. That's been me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you all next time.